everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Three Rivers Financial Wellness Podcast. It's Ashley here, and I have some special guests, Miss Briosha and Emma. They're both assistant branch managers right now, soon to be bigger and better, I'm sure of it. So Emma, why don't you share just a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at Three Rivers, and what you love about your job?
I am originally from the East Coast, New Jersey girl. I come back from a hospitality background. I love people, and I've been with Three Rivers for 2 years, and I am loving it so far.
What about you, Miss Briosha?
Briosha. I've been with Three Rivers for 1.5 years now. I come from the finance world. I do have experience in banking, but mostly customer service is the big part of mine.
So one of the things the three of us have in common is we went through some fierce conversation training, which has been very eye-opening for me. I'm curious from your perspective, how has that training, if you want to do a little recap, but how has that training helped you with your team so that we're making sure that we're helping with level 10 service?
I have seen it be really helpful in one-on-ones with our team members, especially with member experience. You know, when there is those conversations between the member and our team member that aren't going as great, you don't want to make the assumption of what our team member said. We want to hear them out, hear the whole discussion, and then coach them on it. And I've found that to be really helpful to just stop and listen and let them explain how they got to where they are right now, and then move forward on it. So that's been really helpful.
It's interesting because to me, that's the same thing we do with members, right? Yeah. Just stop and listen to what's going on.
We are the big listeners.
Yes. Have you guys had any stories in your branches lately of member comes in and has this crazy situation happen?
I've had one just recently yesterday. A member came in. He'd been with us since International Harvester. Okay. So for those who don't know, that's how Three Rivers kind of started in the New Haven branch, which is where I'm at. And, he was having a bit of an issue with his account, and he was just upset because he called in to extend his, limit, but not realizing, okay, it only lasts for so long. So it was pending, and then it cleared, and then it was rejected because it just took too long from when he made the initial purchase. Well, my team member was trying to talk to him, and he did not want to listen. So my branch manager and I were like, all right, does he want the big guns or he wants the little water guns? And it was interesting to hear because most of the time they're not frustrated at you. They're really frustrated at the predicament that they're in or the situation, and you just got to lend that ear. And there's a difference between listening and actively listening, because I really want to get to the root of what is really what you want the outcome to be. So that was interesting, and we listened. We, came to a mutual understanding of what we can do for him. He left a little bit happier than when he came in. So that's always my goal.
It sounds like it's a lot about listening, we already mentioned, but then also just trying to help problem solve. Interestingly enough, I think we hear that a lot of, especially you guys, well, let me speak to the manager, and so you guys take care of some of that stuff when people are upset. But one of the things I've noticed is we ask a lot of questions, which is one of our 5 Bs. We call it about being curious. A big reason why is because if we don't fully understand what's going on, then we don't problem solve correctly. Briosha, can you share a time or a story about when you've been really curious and how it's really helped you with a member interaction?
I guess most recently the interaction that I had, so a member came in and she was upset, freaking out, frantic, and she just wasn't understanding some things on her account. Apparently she got a letter in the mail saying that she owed us $1,400, but her account had never been negative, and she's like, okay, what's going on? So she comes in, and of course she asks us for a manager. So I was like, okay, gotta put my manager hat on, whatever. Pulled her into the room, and it just that she wasn't making her payments in the right amount of time frame. There wasn't enough money in her account to make the payment, so it wasn't pulling. So I'm just like, well, are you leaving enough money in your savings? Because she just had a savings account. Where are you getting paid from? How much are you putting into her account? She didn't have a checking account. So I was like, well, why don't you have everything with us? And she was like, you know what? I really should switch over from a previous FI. She does a lot of moving around, transferring back and forth, this and that. And so everything was just getting caught up into one. So that's why she wasn't making her payments on time with us. So I got her all situated, but I think me just asking how comfortable does she feel with the other FI, you know, is there anything that we can help her in addition to, or like, why haven't you switched your things over to us yet? Anyway, I got her all situated, gave her my business card. I think she's going to open her account with us and just bring everything over here. So me, it's just kind of like picking her brain a little bit. I know that's probably minimal, but it's like she was already having these issues with another FI. Why not bring your things over here? Like what's stopping you?
A lot of people don't realize that when they have multiple FIs, like that in-between period of, oh, I'm transferring money from here to there, it could be like 3 to 4 days. And then if you've got bills or, you know, other things coming out with a withdrawal, like you do get into that sticky situation of it going potentially negative because of course it is masked as a subscription or an authorization of a withdrawal. And then, you know, they're in a bind. It's like, well, how can we mitigate that? Like,
Avoid fees.
yes, avoid the fees.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. It seems like there's kind of two camps of people, right? Like one is I want to diversify my money and have it at different financial institutions. And then the other one is, you know, of course we love this one exactly. But like, I love Three Rivers. I want all of my stuff at Three Rivers.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Like, do you diversify or I want my stuff all in one place? Personally, I'm curious.
I came from another FI previously, so I had a couple of loans and things there with them, so I had to open an account. I do have them still open.
That's okay. It's okay.
Only for the loan purposes of paying my loan, etc. And then there comes the question, well, why don't you have your loan with Three Rivers?
Yeah.
It's more of a comfort thing, or it's like you don't want the hassle of closing an account and then opening a new one. Or like I've been with a branch in a bank since I was 18.
Yeah.
I have no issues with them at all. So it's like, I don't want to switch, but then I do have accounts here, but just not fully. So I mean, I like to keep my money in different hats, but then it is easier if I'm going to practice what I preach. It is easier to just keep it all in one.
And that's how, mine was similar because when I traveled for work as a flight attendant, I was all over the country. So I needed something like, you know, a bigger bank that was more accessible at the time. And then once I stopped working for the airlines and I moved to Fort Wayne and started at Three Rivers, I was getting stuck in the in-between of transferring funds. So that I'm practicing what I preach now because it was getting frustrating because I was like missing, you know, a payment was getting too close to the deadline. So I brought all my stuff to Three Rivers and I find it easier now. But it's not for everybody at first, but then you see how convenient that we are making it, especially with the mobile app. So like for member experience, I think that we do a really good job even when people do have, you know, multiple accounts elsewhere too.
It's funny that you say that the mobile app is what made me bring all my stuff over.
Yeah.
Because it was so easy. I'm like, what am I doing with this?
Yeah.
I'm a small town person, so I love to support like local and all that. And so with Three Rivers being Fort Wayne, it's still that, but I live in Kendallville, so it's like really small town. Anyway, I'm always trying to support local. And but our mobile app is killer, so I was like, yeah, I'm just moving everything.
And it just
over.
keeps getting better. I mean, we've got credit cards from other companies, especially like the airline cards. We travel a lot, and so when you have to use a different app for a different card, that's frustrating too, because you're like, wait, I don't know like what's going on in this app because I'm not on it all the time any longer. So yeah.
I love this. This is like real talk, right? Like this is how we are. Actually, we are people too, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what we bring to our members though. Like we are very real. Both of us, we talk a lot in the best way. And I feel like we make our members comfortable enough to really get rooted and grounded to the nitty gritty of what they want to work on. And then we have these tools, right, that we present to them with, you know, who we are. And I feel like that's why they want to come back to Three Rivers and for all their needs, right?
I think the most important part is just being relatable to, yes, we are behind Three Rivers and we're in this corporate job, whatever, but also we're human. So if you can interact with a member and be relatable, be yourself, that means the most, I think, to members than not being yourself. And speaking from like personal experience and personal testimony, that I think stands out.
Yeah, especially like with the financial wellness side, we've got members that come in trying to get approved for loans, and they do get approved with us, right? But maybe the rate or the payment is not right for them financial wellness wise. And I will 100% tell them, I'm like, you have to do what's best for you. I want what's best for you. So if it's not with us right now, that's okay. You need to do what's comfortable because a payment is what's essentially going to really hold some weight. If you can't make the payment with us, like, I don't want you to have to be in the red with us. Like, I want you to be able to come here, a couple months from now and be like, hey, your rates went down. I'm going to refinance so that I have everything here. But at that time, I was really in a pinch and I couldn't afford the monthly payment here. I want what's best for you. Like, I'm always going to advocate for my team members and for my members every single time.
We have lots of stories of members who, like, rate is not everything, right? So the thing that I think makes us stand out is our customer service. And you guys are both great examples of that, and you've shared a little bit of it. There are people that bank with us and say, like, I will always bank with Three Rivers because you will help me do the right thing for me, no matter what that is. And I think that's a true testament to, it depends on where you're at in your financial wellness journey, right? But I am fully all in Three Rivers. All of my stuff is here. It wasn't always that way, right? But I've had enough for, like, really positive experiences that that's what I want to do to support local and have the best customer experience possible. So it's for me. But I also tell people, if you want a bank that is not going to ask you questions about your money, Three Rivers is not the place for you. Like, our whole job is really to try to ask questions, be curious, and see how else could we help you. And so it's very interesting dynamics, again, especially in small town branches. I know New Haven's probably the same way. Yep. There's a lot of members who are like, that's none of your business. I'm like, it actually is. We're trying to help you. Like, we're not trying to be nosy.
I'm not trying to pry. I'm just genuinely curious, because, like, what's the best product for you in your mind might not be what's actually gonna benefit you in the long run. Right. It's all about what's best for the member. Yeah. I mean, that's been engraved in me in hospitality for years. Yeah. It's like, they always used to say, well, the customer's always right. And it's like, yes, to a specific standard they are, but also, like, we have to make sure we're giving them products that we feel for them are gonna benefit them, not just because we wanna do that, Well,
especially because we have a lot of stuff that people aren't even aware of, right? I mean, I think CDs are a good example. So we call them share certificates, but people come in and say, I want a CD, what's your rate? Yeah. And so that's a really good example of maybe a share certificate is not the best product, but that's the thing that people know about. And so when we ask a few more questions, we might say, well, actually, we have this other thing that might be better for you. So I think that be curious is really, really important. Let's talk about one really great interaction that you've seen from a team member that you see in your branch. So brag a little bit. You don't have to necessarily say their name, but like an interaction with a member that you're really proud of at your branch.
I think he'd love if I said his name.
Well, that's up to you.
So I will do a little kudos we have our service rep. His name is Brody. The members love him. He's, younger man, and he comes in every day with just, like, such a positive attitude, and he's genuinely wanting to learn. His family comes from the financial background, so he has that instilled in him. But, like, you can't always have someone who's personable. I don't want you to be a copy and paste of me. I want you to be your own self when you're talking to members. But he goes beyond what you can imagine. He also has a second job with a local pizza company, and he worked on Mother's Day, and he delivered a pizza to a member who banks with Three Rivers. He delivered a pizza to her, and she was alone on Mother's Day, and she had mentioned to him when she called in for the pizza. He delivered the pizza to her and realized she was really alone. He went back and got flowers for her and brought them back to her house. And it's little things like that. He even does that in the branch. He remembers those key details for our members, and they always come in asking specifically for him. When he had that interaction with them, he remembered a key detail about their life, and he uses that to build on the relationship building. And he just keeps getting better with that, and he's young, so as he matures more and more, it's just gonna help him in whatever career he decides to move forward in.
That's so cool. What a great story.
I know, and it was posted on, one of the social media pages within the New Haven community. She posted about it, and so it traveled through New Haven to either that a bunch of other members had noticed it, and they're like, it has to have been him. And I was like, it was.
Everybody knows.
Everyone
so
knew
cool.
exactly who it was. And then someone mentioned in the comments how he also worked at Three Rivers. And so that highlighted also just a testimony to him and how he is seen every day.
One of the things that Don always talks about is be impactful. And that's a really good example of how Team 3 is. Obviously, that was on his own time, but we're empowered to do that every day too, is like, how can we be impactful?
Well, if we're giving shout outs, I'll give a shout out to Abby. She is my RSS at Harrison. So I got a chance to shadow her for one of her financial wellness appointments. So she gave me a disclaimer. Me and her interactions are very relaxed. So don't think that this is going to be like a A-B question. Like, it's very relaxed. I was like, okay. She comes in and she's been working with this member for about 6 months, and she started her from the bottom and worked her way up. Her credit score was very low. She was using Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna, all that stuff. And she was just getting herself in this spiraling situation. She was overspending this and that. So she ended up taking her to the top. She comes in, the member, and she's like, "You're gonna be so mad at me." And Abby's like, "Okay, what is it?" And she's like, "I spent so much money on vacation. It's not even funny." And so Abby had this Excel sheet that she pulled up. This member goes in and puts in her own finances one by one to kind of get a gauge of where she can spend and whatnot. And Abby was like, "You did spend a lot of money, but I'm not mad. You had fun." And she gave her hope. She's told her, "Hey, that was a little bit much, but hey, you still are working towards this and building towards this." And she kept giving hope. She kept asking her, like, what makes you the most upset right now? Because the member was very upset. She was able to turn that around. That interaction, the member just left feeling like, okay, I got this. And
That's awesome.
it was really good. It was a really good interaction.
Good.
That sounds great, especially if it's like they come in, you know, they're thinking it's going to be one way and you're like, "No, I'm glad you went on vacation." Like,
Yeah.
and you enjoyed yourself, because some people don't even take that time to do that for themselves. And I think financial wellness is just as important as self-wellness.
And she kept highlighting over and over just about the good things that she's been doing, and to pat yourself on the back and don't beat yourself up, and you're human and it's okay to go on vacation, spend money, but also like, but it all worked out. Like,
We
it was
all
good.
love a little
It was good.
vacation.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, thanks, ladies, for sharing some stories about how we interacted with members. Seems like the challenge today is to talk to your bankers. So if you're at Three Rivers, come talk to us. We'll walk through financial wellness with you and what your dreams and goals are. If you're a team member, make sure you're reaching out to that member and do a surprise and delight, or make sure that you go above and beyond to make sure that our members feel special. So thanks, guys, for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Three Rivers Financial Wellness Podcast. While we're excited that you join us on this journey of financial wellness, we do need to give you a short disclaimer. This podcast is for informational purposes only and isn't intended as financial, tax, or investment advice. Be sure to consult your own experts before making financial decisions. Three Rivers is federally insured by the NCUA and is an equal housing lender.